Or 23 talks about withdrawal and adjustment of suits. Withdrawal and adjustment of suits. 33. 26, 24, 23. Or 23, please, which is withdrawal and adjustment of suits. देखो, before you proceed with the withdrawal and adjustment, कुछ terms मैं आपको समझाना चाहता हूँ. So please understand these terms very carefully before I proceed with withdrawal adjustment. There is something called as withdrawal. There is something called as abandonment. And there is something called as compromise. मेरी आवाज वो clearly आ रही है?
Yes, sir, clear है.
Perfect. Something called as withdrawal, there's something called as abandonment, and there's something called as compromise. एक करके समझो प्लीज क्या कह रहे हैं ये. What do you mean by withdrawal? देखो, suppose there is a suit which is going on, let's suppose between me and Sejal. Now, in the course of the proceedings, Jay wants to withdraw. एक बात समझ लो, that withdrawal can happen anytime. Withdrawal can happen anytime and anytime after the institution of the suit. Withdrawal can happen anytime after the institution of the suit. जैसे आप, for example, today you have instituted the suit. Judgment से पहले कभी भी you can withdraw. So today is the day when Jay has filed suit on Sejal, and during the course of the proceedings, Jay withdraws the suit. At the time of withdrawal of the suit, Jay has to take permission. ऐसे नहीं withdrawal हो जाता. Jay has to take permission from the court. Jay has to, अगर देखो, एक बात समझो ध्यान से. आज मैं विड्रॉ कर रहा हूं, आज मैंने सूट फाइल किया सेजल पे एंड आई एम विड्रॉइंग इट फॉर सम रीजन और द अदर दैट आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू इन द ड्यू कोर्स, डोंट वरी. I want to withdraw the suit, but I want to withdraw the suit with this caveat that I want to refile the suit in future if need be. मेरी बात को और मेरे वर्ड्स को बहुत ध्यान सुनना. I want to today withdraw the suit with this caveat that tomorrow or day after or after some time, I wish to file the suit again if the need be. So for that, I need to take permission from the court. अगर मैंने permission नहीं ली, if I have taken no permission from the court, then after withdrawal, no fresh suit will be allowed. No fresh suit will be allowed. यहां तक समझ में आया तो मुझे बताओ कि रिपीट करूं. जल्दी बोलो, समझ में आ गया कि नहीं? हैज एवरीबॉडी अंडरस्टूड अप टिल हियर?
आ गया सर.
ठीक है. Now once I have withdrawn the suit, I will pay. Second point, once I have withdrawn the suit, I will pay cost to Sejal. Once I have withdrawn the suit, I will have to pay cost to the Sejal. कॉस्ट टू सेजल, कौन सी कॉस्ट? जो भी इसने अब तक, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इफ टुडे इज अ डेट व्हेन आई हैव फाइल्ड अ सूट एंड आई समवेयर हियर आई हैव विड्रॉन इट, तो यहां तक का जितना भी खर्चा हुआ होगा सेजल का, she will reproduce the bill and I will eventually pay the cost. Whatever expenses, the word used is expenses. Whatever expenses Sejal might have incurred, the opposite party who is withdrawing has to pay those expenses. If I am ready and willing to pay the expenses, then I will be allowed to withdraw. अगर ठीक, ये सेकंड पॉइंट था. थर्ड पॉइंट, if I have taken permission, if I have taken permission for withdrawal from the court, then in future, if need be, I can file the same suit again, because court has allowed me before withdrawal. Court has allowed me that yes, I am allowing you to withdraw the suit with the permission that tomorrow, if the circumstances change, I might be allowed to file the same suit again. Withdraw करने के लिए, I have just now told you there are some grounds, but don't worry, I will explain those grounds in a very short while to you. This is what is called as withdrawal of suit. ये समझ में आया तो बताओ. Have you understood what is called as withdrawal?
Yes, sir.
Expenses समझ में आ गया? What do you mean? What expenses I am referring to here? So all the expenses Sejal might have incurred, lawyer की fees, आने जाने खर्चा, whatever, that has to be paid by Jay to Sejal.
सर 5 स्टार का लंच भी इंक्लूडेड है?
अब तुम चिकन बिरयानी खाओगे, उसके पैसे थोड़ा ना दूंगा मैं. तो उसके पैसे थोड़ा ना दूंगा मैं.
अच्छा, फिर
तो
क्या फायदा?
आगे चल. हाँ, तो ऐश मौज करने के थोड़ा ना पैसे दे रहा हूँ. जो तुम्हारा जेन्युइन खर्चा हुआ आने जाने का, कोर्ट फीस का, लॉयर के फीस का, अब तुम वहां बैठ के गरम गरम चाय पियोगे सर्दी के मौसम में और साथ में ब्रेड पकौड़ा खाओगे, उसके थोड़ा ना पैसे दूंगा मैं.
ठीक, कोई बात नहीं, इतने से चला लेंगे.
हाँ, आगे चलो प्लीज. अब आगे चलो प्लीज. अबैंडनमेंट प्लीज. देखो, अबैंडनमेंट इज ऑल्सो अ काइंड ऑफ विड्रॉल. Abandonment is also a kind of withdrawal. Abandonment means you give up the suit. Abandonment means you give up the suit. Give up the suit का क्या मतलब हुआ? Give up the suit मतलब यहां पर you are taking permission to file a fresh suit. But when you are abandoning the suit, you give up the suit मतलब you will not file the same suit again. देखो, टेक्निकलिटीज हैं थोड़ी थोड़ी, ये समझने वाली बात है, कॉलेज में हेल्प करेगा. When I abandon, that means I will not file the suit again. मतलब मुझे कोर्ट से परमिशन नहीं मिलेगी after when I am abandoning. और अगेन, अगर अबैंडन कर रहा हूं तो सेकंड पॉइंट, cost to be paid. कॉस्ट पे करनी पड़ेगी ऑपोजिट पार्टी को. दिस इज व्हाट इज नोन एज अबैंडनमेंट ऑफ सूट. फर्क क्या है विड्रॉल में? विड्रॉल में आप परमिशन ले रहे हो टू फाइल इट अगेन. अबैंडनमेंट में you don't wish to file it again, तो परमिशन भी नहीं मिलेगी अगेन दूसरी बार फाइल करने की. नेक्स्ट इज कॉम्प्रोमाइज। देखो कॉम्प्रोमाइज क्या होता है। सो सपोज देयर इज अ सूट बिटवीन मी एंड सेजल, एंड द सूट there is a suit between me and Sejal, and the suit is with regard to this house. So मैंने सेजल को बोला कि हम लोग we will fight the suit we'll file the case in we'll fight it in the court, it will take long time. तो एक काम करते हैं, घर की जगह पे तू मुझसे लैंड ले ले, take land from me. So instead of house you take land with me. Compromise जैसे बोलते हैं ना, out of court settlement. Out of court settlement. That is what is called as compromise. मतलब इंस्टेड ऑफ हाउस यू टेक लैंड। अब अगर ये आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट हो रही है, ये वर्बल नहीं होती, ये रिटन होती है। दिस इज रिटन, और व्हेन इट विल बी रिटन द कॉपी विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू द जज। अकॉर्डिंगली द जज विल पास, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, अकॉर्डिंगली द जज विल पास a consent or a compromise decree. Accordingly, the judge will pass a consent or a compromise decree. दोनों ये it will be written. Both the parties will sign also. It will be written. Both the parties will sign, and it will be presented to the court. Court will accordingly, after looking at this, will pass a consent or a compromise decree. यहां तक तो एवरीथिंग इज वेरी हंकी डोरी। जो लोगों को नहीं मालूम या मालूम है या वो शायद नहीं बता पाएंगे, वो ये या मालूम होगा वट एवर इट इज, कि जब आपने कंसेंट, आपने रिटन एग्रीमेंट हम मेरा सेजल के बीच में हो गया, सेजल ने कॉपी दे दी कोर्ट को, तो कोर्ट देखेगा कि हाँ भी साइन वाइन हुआ है, ठीक है। सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं देखेगा कोर्ट मुझे समन भी करेगा, और समन करके मुझे बोलेगा कि जय, हैव यू साइंड दिस रिटन डॉक्यूमेंट विद योर ओन फ्री विल और नॉट? कोई प्रेशर तो नहीं था आप पे, किसी ने जोर जबरदस्ती तो नहीं करी थी साइन करने के लिए? वो क्यों पूछेगा आपसे? क्योंकि एक बार, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, एक बार कंसेंट या कॉम्प्रोमाइज डिग्री पास हो गई ना, उसके खिलाफ आप अपील नहीं कर पाओगे कभी भी। Once a consent decree has been passed, उसके खिलाफ आप अपील नहीं कर सकते। और अपील क्या, फ्रेश सूट भी फाइल नहीं कर सकते। ये लिखा है सेक्शन 96 क्लॉज 3 में, और ये लिखा है सेक्शन 96 क्लॉज 3A में। ये बारीकी समझा रहा हूं। एक बार कोर्ट ने कंसेंट डिग्री पास कर दी, देन you will not be allowed either to appeal or to file a fresh suit against the same party on the same facts once in which the consent decree has been passed. These are the two sections. हाँ जी, अब बताइए क्या समझ में नहीं आया इसमें? कुछ ऐसी चीज जो समझ में नहीं आई?
सर आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट मतलब विलिंगली होता है या फिर एडीआर की तरह कोर्ट कह देती है कि कर लो?
हाँ, नहीं, आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट जैसे हो गया, जैसे दो पार्टी के आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट हो गया, तो वो तो आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट होने से पहले तो पार्टीज तो कोर्ट में थी ना, तो यू हैव टू टेल द कोर्ट दैट वी हैव एंटर्ड इनटू आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट, लुक दिस इज अ डॉक्यूमेंट व्हिच वी बोथ हैव साइंड। ओके, कोर्ट विल चेक इट्स वेरासिटी।
अच्छा,
लीगल टर्म है, ये लीगल टर्म है। द कोर्ट विल चेक इट्स वेरासिटी, whether this document has been signed by both the parties by free will, not under any duress or any compulsion, or no force or fraud was used. If the court is satisfied, only then court pass, only then will the court pass the consent or a compromise decree. Because ये limitation है ना,
ओके
ये limitation है ना,
हाँ
इसीलिए.
ठीक है ठीक है.
Has everybody understood this three terms? Let me, so only then I will proceed ahead. समझ में आ गया सबको? जल्दी बोल रहा है, बहुत टाइम वेस्ट कर लेते तुम लोग.
क्लियर है सर.
ठीक है जी, आगे चलो प्लीज. और 23 पे आ जाओ प्लीज. Withdrawal of suit or abandonment of part of claim. So before I started reading this withdrawal and abandonment, I thought it is better to explain the terms to you. At any time after the institution of the suit, मतलब जो मैंने अभी बोला, at any time after the institution of the suit, the plaintiff may, as against all or any of the defendants, abandon his suit or abandon a part of his claim. He can abandon his complete suit, all suit, complete suit, or abandon any part of the claim. All suit तो मैं समझ में आता है, all suit का क्या मतलब होता है. Part of claim, मान लो क्लेम था 10 लाख रुपए का, तो उसमें से मैं 6 लाख रुपए अबैंडन कर रहा हूं. मेरा सूट अब सिर्फ 4 लाख रुपए के लिए है. I am abandoning 6 lakhs. I am only claiming 4 lakhs. This is what is called as a part of the claim. उस एक क्लेम का एक पार्ट. आगे चलो. Provided that where the plaintiff is a minor or other person to whom the provisions contained in Rule 1 to 14 of Order 32 extends, neither the suit nor any part of the claim shall be abandoned without the leave of the court. जहां पर where the person or the plaintiff, as the word is used, where the plaintiff is a minor or unsound, वो हमेशा केस फाइल करता है थ्रू हिज नेक्स्ट फ्रेंड. जैसे मान लो सेजल, अगर ऐसे तो अडल्ट है, बट मान लो सेजल इज अ माइनर, तो इफ आई एम हर नेक्स्ट फ्रेंड, आई विल फाइल द सूट ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ सेजल. और मैं ही नहीं, नेक्स्ट फ्रेंड ही नहीं, कोर्ट. It is the duty of the court, if the plaintiff is a minor or unsound, it is the important point hai. It is if the plaintiff is a minor or an unsound, it is the duty of the court to protect his interest. It is a duty of the court to protect his interest. क्यों? मान लो सेजल की जगह पे जय is his next friend and Jay is filing a suit against, let's suppose, Shruti is here. अब ऐसे भी तो हो सकता है कि मैं श्रुति के साथ मिल जाऊं, I collude with her. तो उस केस में कोर्ट will be very cautious. Court will be very cautious. Court will protect. Court. It is the duty of the court to protect the right of Sejal. मान लो मैं श्रुति के साथ मिल गया and then I want to withdraw the suit. तो कोर्ट ऐसे नहीं मान जाएगा. Court has to first see whether the withdrawal, the important point है, whether the withdrawal is for the benefit. Court has to see whether the withdrawal is for the benefit of the minor or not. उस लॉयर अपना सर्टिफिकेट भी फाइल करेगा उसमें. Lawyer will file his certificate also. That I want to, that I am withdrawing. Lawyer will file a certificate saying that I am withdrawing the suit and it is for the benefit of the minor. Court is not bound. Court is not bound by this certificate. Court will actually see. Court will actually see whether the withdrawal is for the benefit of the minor or not. कि कहीं 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 collusion तो नहीं हो गई है. If court is satisfied, only then will the withdrawal be allowed. हाँ जी, समझ में आ गया?
यस सर.
ठीक है, आगे चलो. An application for leave under the proviso to subrule 1 shall be accompanied by an affidavit, wait, affidavit of a next friend. And also if the minor or such other person is represented by a pleader by a certificate of the pleader, certificate of an advocate, जो मैं भी बोल रहा था, to the effect that abandonment proposed in his opinion for the benefit of the minor. Lawyer affidavit भी फाइल होगा और साथ में एडवोकेट का सर्टिफिकेट भी फाइल होगा कि हम लोग विड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, इट इज फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द माइनर. बट फिर भी कोर्ट के पास इतनी पावर्स हैं कि कोर्ट इस वो मेरे सर्टिफिकेट को नहीं माने, कोर्ट खुद चेक करे कि whether withdrawal is for the benefit of the minor or not. Only if the court is satisfied, only then will the court proceed for withdrawal. आगे चलो. Where the court is satisfied, देखो, where the court is satisfied that a suit must fail by reasons of some formal defect, that the suit must fail by reason of some formal defect. This is subject to interpretation. Formal defect, अभी करूंगा थोड़ी देर में. That there are sufficient grounds. ये भी, this is also subject to interpretation. Sufficient grounds, I will explain in a very short while. For allowing the plaintiff to institute a fresh suit for subject matter of the suit or part of claim, it may, on such terms as it thinks fit, grant the plaintiff permission to withdraw from such suit or such part of the claim with liberty to institute a fresh suit in respect of the subject matter of such suit or such part of the claim. वो क्या कह रहे हैं? वो ये कह रहे हैं, वो बेसिकली ये कह रहे हैं, क्या हो गया? वो बोल रहे हैं you can either withdraw the whole suit or you can withdraw or any part of the claim. अब मान लो मैंने एक सूट फाइल किया सिजिल के खिलाफ, बट I filed it in court number 1. Court number 1 did not have, does not have jurisdiction. Does not have jurisdiction. तो obviously जब कोर्ट के पास jurisdiction ही नहीं है तो वो कोर्ट मेरा केस कैसे सुनेगा? I know that court मैंने फाइल तो कर दिया, but this court does not have jurisdiction. So in that case, I will tell the court that I want to withdraw the suit because, and that withdrawal should be allowed to me because as it is, you do not have jurisdiction to try my case. So please allow me the withdrawal and also give me the liberty to file a fresh suit. You allow me the withdrawal plus also give me the liberty to file a fresh suit. Because ये एक बहुत ही it is a very technical ground. It is a very technical ground on which I am withdrawing. So अगर मुझे मालूम है, if the advocate knows that he has filed a suit in that court which does not have jurisdiction, then he can ask the court that let permission may be granted for me to withdraw the case because it is very technical ground. So as it is, you will return my plaint. So let me allow me to withdraw it. Plus, give me liberty to file a fresh suit in that court which has jurisdiction. तो इसमें what are we examining? अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए that what are you examining when withdrawal etc. happens? So what we are examining is on what ground What we are examining is on what ground will the court allow you withdraw? Will the court allow you to withdraw plus file a fresh suit? This is what you are examining. ये लिख के रख लेना आपने, एक सेंटेंस लिख लो प्लीज, इंपॉर्टेंट है. Please write down one sentence. What we are examining is on what ground? What we are examining is on what ground the court will allow. What we are examining is on what ground will the court allow. On what ground will the court allow you to withdraw the suit? On what ground will the court allow you to withdraw the suit and file a fresh suit? And file a fresh suit. ये पॉइंट सबको समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir.
Is this point clear? Okay. आगे चलो प्लीज. अब दो टर्म जो मैंने आप लोगों को समझानी थी, which I told you that it is subject to interpretation. One is formal defect and one is sufficient grounds. देखो, when you talk about formal defect basically is a technical defect. Formal defect is basically a technical defect. When I say it is a technical defect, that means it is not related to the merits of the case. It is not related to the merits of the case. Example लेना बड़ा जरूरी है. Example लो. For example, non-disclosure. ये एग्जाम्पल ऐसा लिखते जाइएगा, अपने कॉलेज में साइट कीजिएगा when your professors will be teaching you. Non-disclosure of cause of action. Now, आप लोगों को मैं पहले से पढ़ा चुका हूं in CPC Part 1 workshop that non-disclosure of cause of action can result into your plaint being rejected. Order 7, Rule 11A, small a. अगर आपने cause of action disclose नहीं किया है, if you have not disclosed your cause of action, तो आपके पास दो रास्ते हैं. या तो आप 617 की एप्लीकेशन फाइल करो, ऑर्डर 6 रूल 17 की एप्लीकेशन फाइल. ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं. आई होप यू आर मेकिंग नोट्स. अगर आपने नॉन डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ कॉज ऑफ एक्शन किया है जिसके ग्राउंड पे रिजेक्शन हो सकती है, तो आपके पास ऑप्शन है, या तो आप 617 की एप्लीकेशन फाइल करो फॉर अमेंडमेंट एंड यू कैन पुट इन योर कॉज ऑफ एक्शन, या आपके पास ऑप्शन है आप अपना केस विड्रॉ कर लो, or you have an option to withdraw your case. You can either amend your pleadings to insert the cause of action, or you can withdraw the entire plaint and file it again. लेकिन अगर आप अपना प्लेंट विड्रॉ करते हो, और यही एक अच्छे एडवोकेट में और एक एवरेज एडवोकेट में फर्क होगा, क्योंकि ऑप्शन मालूम होना चाहिए आपको. क्यों? आप विड्रॉ कभी नहीं करोगे, आप हमेशा अमेंडमेंट करोगे. अगर आप विड्रॉ करोगे ना, तो आपको फ्रेश कोर्ट फीस फाइल करनी पड़ेगी. तभी एक अच्छा एडवोकेट हमेशा बोलता है अमेंडमेंट कर लो. विड्रॉ मत करो। विड्रॉ करोगे तो आपको फिर से फ्रेश सूट, फिर से फ्रेश कोर्ट फीस फाइल करनी पड़ेगी। एंड आई हैव सीन एडवोकेट्स डूइंग विड्रॉइंग, क्योंकि कितना गलत होता है, क्योंकि रेमेडीज ही नहीं मालूम। आप लोग बड़ा ध्यान से लिखिएगा इसको अपनी कॉपीज में। एक और एग्जाम्पल ले लो, टेक वन मोर एग्जाम्पल। मान लो इट इज अ मिस जॉइंडर ऑफ पार्टीज, दो पार्टीज जिनको ज्वाइन करना ही नहीं चाहिए था उनको ज्वाइन कर दिया। या मान लो कोई वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कोई नेसेसरी पार्टी है, कोई बहुत नेसेसरी पार्टी है, उसको ज्वाइन ही नहीं किया, उसको ज्वाइन ही नहीं किया। इन दिस केस व्हेन यू हैव नॉट जॉइंड अ वेरी नेसेसरी पार्टी, मतलब मान लो एक घर के दो ओनर्स हैं, मैं और लेट्स सपोज श्रुति इज देयर, मी एंड श्रुति आर जॉइंट ओनर्स ऑफ अ हाउस। अब आई हैव फाइल्ड अ सूट अगेंस्ट सेजल, व्हेयरएज श्रुति इज अ नेसेसरी पार्टी। अगर मैं श्रुति को इंप्लीड नहीं करूंगा तो बेशक मैं जीत जाऊं, बट एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं करवा सकता, क्योंकि श्रुति जॉइंट ओनर है उस घर की। और डिड आई टीच यू व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज परफॉर्मा डिफेंडेंट? Did I teach you what is called as performer defendant? बोल दो यार जल्दी से। परफॉर्मर डिफेंडेंट पढ़ाया था मैंने? हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है? Am I audible?
यस सर।
तो बोलो ना यार, तो टाइम क्यों लगाते हो? Did I teach performer defendant?
ये सर पिछले वाले में पढ़ाया था।
पढ़ाया था, हाँ पढ़ाया था। तो if Shruti is not wanting to join the suit, then I will implead her as a defendant. तो necessary party join ही नहीं करी। So in this case, where I have not joined necessary party, I can go for impleadment application. Can go for impleadment application. या withdrawal. Withdrawal का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि फ्रेश कोर्ट फीस, तो इसलिए withdrawal is not optional, withdrawal is not preferable, impleadment application. This is what is called as technical formal defect. What is called as sufficient grounds? देखो sufficient ground ना एक थोड़ा सा broad सी term है, it's very broad term. Why do I call it a very broad term? Because इसमें any other ground, जो भी other ground आप सोच सकते हो, सारे ground इसमें ऐड हो जाएंगे। Any other ground as per the discretion. As per the discretion of the court. मान लो out of court withdraw after out of court settlement. Out of court settlement. अब out of court settlement, मान लो there is a suit between me and Shruti going on, and I inform the court that there are negotiations going on and it is an out of court settlement, and that is why I want to withdraw. But I am withdrawing with and please give me permission that if the negotiations fail, please allow me to file a fresh suit. तो कोर्ट विल encourage out of court settlement, क्यों? क्योंकि उसका काम बर्डन कम होता है, तो कोर्ट विल encourage out of court settlement. This is a very good ground for withdrawal, that you are into a negotiation with the opposite party, allow me to withdraw. But give me permission that tomorrow if I want to, if negotiations fail, allow me to file a fresh suit. It's a good ground because court will always encourage out of court settlement. So permission लेनी पड़ेगी कोर्ट से हमेशा। Point clear everybody?
यस सर।
ठीक है, आगे चलो प्लीज। ये तो तुम्हें मालूम है, where the plaintiff abandons the suit or withdraws it, she is liable to pay cost. So if you have to take permission from the court to withdraw, you have to take permission from the court to withdraw मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही है? कैन यू सी माय स्क्रीन?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Or rule 4 says that you have to take permission from the court to withdraw. तो अगर कोर्ट ने परमिशन दे दिया, only then will you be able to file a fresh suit again. तो उसके लिए you have to pay the cost. That I've already told you. Next आ जाओ. Nothing in this rule shall be deemed to authorize the court to permit one or the several plaintiffs to abandon the suit or part of the claim under sub-rule 1 or to withdraw under sub-rule 3 any part or part of the claim without the consent of the other plaintiff. जैसे मान लो 3 लोग हैं, 3 plaintiffs हैं, सपोज A, B और C, और इन्होंने जॉइंटली सूट फाइल किया है D पे. A wants to withdraw. B or C does not want to withdraw. तो उस केस में if A wants to withdraw, then B or C withdrawal will automatically take place. बेशक B and C they don't want to withdraw, but if A wants to withdraw, then B or C का withdrawal automatically हो जाएगा. There they are saying that the court will see whether B and C are giving consent or not. There the court will see whether B or C are giving consent or not. If not, then the withdrawal will not be allowed because joint interest है सबका. और एक के withdrawal पे बाकी दोनों का withdrawal भी हो जाएगा. So there the court will see whether the consent has been given for withdrawal or not. अगर करना है तो consent चाहिए होगा सारे plaintiffs का. आगे चलो. When the transposition of defendant as plaintiffs may be permitted. Where a suit is withdrawn or abandoned by a plaintiff under Rule 1 and the defendant applies to be transposed as the plaintiff under Rule 10 of Order 1, the court shall, in considering such application, having due regard to the question whether the applicant has a substantial question to be decided against other defendants. क्या बोल रहे हैं देखो. What is 1A saying? What is 1A saying? 1A ये बोल रहा है कि मान लो A ने सूट फाइल किया B और C पे. If A has filed a suit against B and C. Now, A withdraws the suit. A withdraws the suit. जैसे A ने withdraw किया सूट, B ने एक एप्लीकेशन लगा दी. B files an application that I may be transposed to the plaintiff's position. So let the suit become B versus C. तुम मुझे बताओ, is it possible? Is it possible that one of the defendant is wanting to become one of the plaintiffs? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Provided B and C has some substantial conflict. B and C has some substantial conflict of interest. ये तो section बोल रहा है. Substantial question to be decided as against any of the other defendants. B will be allowed to transpose to the plaintiff's position provided B and C has आपस में they have some substantial question to be decided. और अगर प्रैक्टिकलिटी में देखोगे तो जब B ट्रांसपोज होगा A के जगह पे तो उसको कॉस्ट भी पे करनी पड़ेगी. He has to pay cost also. Oh, sorry, not cost. I'm so sorry. Not cost, court fees. He has to pay court fees also. Because वो plaintiff बन रहा है ना. So there's a guide. एक sentence में लिख लीजिए please. इस sentence में लिख लीजिए please. The guideline is that before transposing, you will have to check. The guideline is before transposing, you will have to check as to whether you'll have to check as to whether there is a substantial conflict of interest as to whether there is substantial conflict of interest between the two parties or not. Substantial conflict of interest between the two parties or not. Full stop. आगे चलिए प्लीज. 2. Limitation law not to be affected by first suit. In any fresh suit instituted on permission granted under the last preceding rule, the plaintiff shall be bound by law of limitation in the same manner as if the first suit had not been instituted. और ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्लॉज है. देखो क्या बोल रहे हैं वो. मान लो यहां पर कॉज ऑफ एक्शन अराइज हुआ, यहां पर कॉज ऑफ एक्शन अराइज हुआ, यहां पर सूट फाइल हुआ, यहां पर कॉज ऑफ एक्शन अराइज हुआ, यहां पर सूट फाइल हुआ. दिस इज द प्रिस्क्राइब्ड पीरियड. दिस इज द प्रिस्क्राइब्ड पीरियड जहां तक उससे पहले पहले आपको सूट फाइल करना है. तो आपने विद इन टाइम सूट फाइल कर दिया. आपने सूट चल रहा है और समवेयर हियर यू हैव विड्रॉन द सूट. Somewhere here you have withdrawn the suit and you have taken permission to file a fresh suit. Somewhere here you have filed a fresh suit. Somewhere here you have filed a fresh suit. Now you see this fresh suit which has been filed, this has been filed after the lapse of the prescribed period. This fresh suit has been filed after the lapse of prescribed period. तुम मुझे बताओ कि अब जब प्रिस्क्राइब पीरियड लैप्स कर गया है तो अब क्या बेनिफिट फ्रेश सूट फाइल करने का. अब तो विल द कोर्ट अलाउ द फ्रेश सूट शुड बी फाइल्ड. विल द कोर्ट अलाउ दिस फ्रेश सूट टू बी फाइल्ड. द आंसर इज नो. After the lapse of the prescribed period, how can you file a fresh suit? क्योंकि नया कोर्ट जो होगा, जिस कोर्ट में आप फ्रेश सूट फाइल कर रहे हो, उसके लिए तो आपने पहले जो मर्जी सूट फाइल किया वो मर्जी, उसके लिए कोई महत्व नहीं रखता. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस सूट वॉज फाइल्ड इन कोर्ट नंबर 1. दिस सूट वॉज फाइल्ड इन कोर्ट नंबर 2. कोर्ट नंबर 2 हैज नो इंटरेस्ट कि आपने पहले कौन से कोर्ट में सूट फाइल किया था. Court will deem as if today is the day when you have filed a fresh suit, and that is after the lapse of the prescribed period. So court will not allow. एक तो ये जवाब हो गया. Second, अब जब कोर्ट अगर ऐसा ही होना था तो why will the court allow withdrawal after the lapse of prescribed period? Question is, why will the court allow the suit to be withdrawn after the expiry of the prescribed period when this court number 1 knows that court number 2 will never allow a fresh suit to be filed after the expiry of the prescribed period. तो उसका आंसर ये है कि there can be times when court number 1 or any court for that fact who is allowing withdrawal might not know, या parties might not know, बिकॉज उसके लिए एक बहुत बढ़िया सेक्शन है, एंड दैट इज, ये इंटरलिंकिंग कर रहा हूं, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दैट इज सेक्शन 14 क्लॉज 3 ऑफ द लिमिटेशन एक्ट. दैट इज सेक्शन 14 क्लॉज 3 ऑफ द इंडियन लिमिटेशन. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये बहुत कम जगह पढ़ने को मिलेगा आपको. दैट इज सेक्शन 14 क्लॉज 3 ऑफ द इंडियन लिमिटेशन एक्ट. 14 क्लॉज 3 इंडियन लिमिटेशन एक्ट ये बोल रहा है कि जितना भी टाइम आपने स्पेंड किया है पहले कोर्ट में, वो सारा टाइम माइनस हो जाएगा. एंड इट विल बी डीम्ड एज इफ दिस सूट वाज फाइल्ड हियर विद इन द प्रिस्क्राइब्ड पीरियड. एंड इट विल बी डीम्ड एज इफ दिस फ्रेश सूट व्हिच हैज बीन filed after the expiry of the prescribed period was filed here within the prescribed period. Section 14 clause 3 कहता है So hence 14, because 14 clause 3 is a special provision and order 23 rule 2 ही है ना? 2 is a general provision. Special provision will prevail. Hence ये सारी proceedings minus हो जाएंगी. Whatever time you have spent in the vote number 1 will be minused, and it will be deemed as if this suit was filed within the prescribed period. ये पॉइंट सबको समझ में आया कि नहीं, ये बताओ पहले. तेजल, मैसेज कहाँ है सब लोग? कोई भी नहीं है? तुझको समझ में आया? Has everybody understood this?
यस सर. सर वैसे ना क्लास थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में डिस्कनेक्ट हो जा रही है.
क्यों?
पता नहीं.
आप ना चेक करो इंटरनेट कनेक्शन. आगे चलिए प्लीज. और 23 रूल 3. Compromise of suit. देखो, when they talk about compromise of the suit, when it is proved to the satisfaction of the court that a suit has been adjusted wholly or in part by any lawful agreement. The word used is lawful agreement. Lawful agreement का मतलब होता है कि the requirements of Indian Contract Act should be fulfilled. Lawful agreement means the requirement of Indian Contract Act should be fulfilled. अब मान लो there's a suit between A and B और out of court settlement हो गई. और आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट हो गई. सेटलमेंट हो गई या कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गया, whatever. All this out of court settlement has to be lawful. मतलब lawful मतलब it should not violate the requirements of Indian Contract Act. It should not violate the requirements of Indian Contract Act. और ये important point है, or it should not be a void or a voidable agreement. It should not be void or a voidable agreement. अब अगर आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ा है, so technically in a contract, if an agreement is a voidable agreement, it is considered to be lawful. ये voidable है ना, मतलब मर्जी enforce कर लो, मर्जी you want to continue, you continue. If you don't want to continue, you can come out of the contract. So technically a voidable if a contract is voidable, then it is considered to be lawful. But यहाँ उल्टा है. यहाँ here it is opposite. अगर compromise हो रहा है या whatever it is happening, it should be valid. और valid भी नहीं, court has to record reasons. Court has to record reasons, and both the parties should sign it. Court has to record reasons, and both the parties should sign it. Both the parties should sign it. लेकिन इसमें एक important point है, and that is that court has to examine. Court has to examine whether the compromise was voluntarily or not. वो मैं तुम्हें पहले भी बता चुका हूँ, because consent degree pass होती है, there is no appeal. Court has to examine whether the compromise was voluntary or not. और अगर आपने एक बार voluntarily कोर्ट से कंसेंट डिग्री ले ली या कॉम्प्रोमाइज डिग्री ले ली, तो आई हैव टोल्ड यू नो अपील, नो फ्रेश सूट. No appeal, no fresh suit. Why? Because it is based, और ये लिख के रख लेना अपने पास, it is based on the principle of estoppel. It is based on the principle of estoppel. Because अब आपने डिग्री विड्रॉ कर ली या कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर ली, उसके बदले उसके on the behalf of you compromising or consent decree was passed. Now I've changed my position. Now how can you alter? I have altered my position based on your compromise. So I will not be allowed to go back. So this is based upon consent or compromise decree is based upon principle of estoppel. आगे चलिए please. 3A please. But no suit shall lie to set aside a decree on the ground that compromise on which the decree is based was not lawful. अगर आपने एक बार दो पार्टीज ने कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर लिया है, then you cannot, 3A says you cannot file a fresh suit. क्योंकि आप because पहले तो आपने consent decree drawn up करी, फिर आपने कोर्ट को दी, कोर्ट हैज वेरीफाइड इट्स वेरासिटी. नाउ once the court has verified its veracity, then tomorrow you cannot come back to the court saying that no, I want to file a fresh suit. You will not be allowed. 3A is saying it is barred to suit. You cannot file a fresh suit. No suit shall lie to set aside a decree on the ground that the compromise on which the decree was based was not lawful. Court has already checked whether it is lawful or not. Now you cannot turn back and say no, it was unlawful, मुझे pressure किया गया था, whatever. So you please allow me to file a fresh suit. Court will not allow you because it is based upon the principle of estoppel. 3B पढ़ लो please. Last है. No agreement or compromise to be entered in a representative suit without leave of the court. अब वो क्या बोल रहे? They're talking about representative suit. What they're talking about is representative suit. Representative suit is Order 1, Rule 8 CPC. This is to be read with Section 88 CPC. अब जैसे मान लो representative suit है. So example, कर्ता is there. चलो कर्ता का एग्जांपल बाद में लूंगा. So suppose I am representing a batch of the CPC, which has about 20 odd students, 30 odd students, whatever it is. Now I am representing the entire batch of CPC and I have filed a suit against, let's suppose, B. I have filed a suit against B. अब इसी सूट में I have done compromise. इसी सूट में I have done compromise. So once I want to do compromise, then the notice will be sent to all the parties to whom J is representing. जिसको J represent कर रहा है, सबको नोटिस जाएगा. Because representative का compromise will affect all those persons compromise who is represented, who J is representing. So that is why notice is given to all the party who is being represented by J. Court will serve notice to all the interested parties, and अगर कोई objection नहीं आई किसी भी parties की तरफ से, then within the stipulated time period, then the court will allow to compromise. अगर किसी भी पार्टी, किसी भी एक पार्टी, even if any one party objects, then बाकी सबका compromise हो जाएगा और वो that one person can continue to file a suit against B. Then one person can continue to file a suit against B. अब है joint, जैसे मैं joint family का example ले रहा था मैं पहले. कर्ता होता है. Joint family में there is something called as कर्ता. Now कर्ता has filed a suit against, let's suppose, B, and one of the co-partner objects. One of the co-partners object withdrawal. Now, because in this joint family system, since the interest is joint and not severable, अलग-अलग नहीं हो सकते, the interest is joint and कर्ता is representing all the co-partners, then the withdrawal will not be allowed. Then the compromise will not be allowed. अगर interest severable है, provided, ये important point है, and this is very, very important point. If the interest is severable, अलग-अलग हो सकते हैं, only then, and if one person objects, only then other people will be allowed to withdraw and one person who objected will continue. But if the interest is joint, as in the case of joint family, where Karta is representing the interest of all the co-partners, then in that case, since the interests are joined, then the withdrawal will not be allowed. Then the withdrawal will not be allowed. ये पॉइंट समझ में आ गया सबको? रूल 4 समझ लीजिए प्लीज. Nothing in this order shall apply to any proceeding in execution of decree or order. Simple बोल रहे हैं कि withdrawal अगर हो गया है will apply upon appeal also. Nothing in the order shall apply to any proceeding in execution of decree or order. So withdrawal will apply upon appeal also. That is all about Order 23, which is withdrawal and adjustment of suit.